Hello and welcome back to the Scoop with Coop. I'm of course Coop, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the New York Knicks as they take the ultimate commanding signal of winning a series, going up 3-0 over the Cleveland Cavaliers, 121 to 108. And before, I get into the game analysis and all of that stuff, right? When you're up 3-0 in a series, I believe there have only been 7 times when the team that was down 3-0 forces a game 7. Now, notice how I didn't say win, because no team has ever won when they have been down 3-0 in a series. Could Cleveland be the first? I highly doubt so, simply because when you look at this Knicks team, they are a well-oiled machine. Every single player in their starting lineup had over 10 points. Every single player who played meaningful minutes was relatively efficient. Every single player on this Knicks team knows exactly what it takes to win, and they've been doing so as they're off to, I believe, 10 straight wins now. This Knicks team is a very good basketball team. And Cleveland, I don't feel the same way about them. I don't think this Cleveland team is up to the task. I don't think this Cleveland team, for a conference finals team, is very good. And when you look at Cleveland, right, I do just want to say this. You know what, James Harden, you were actually pretty serviceable in this game. So I do just want to say, shout out to you, James. That's pretty cool, right? I think that the only thing you struggled with here was defense, and your three-point efficiency is only shot 1 for 7. But this entire Cavaliers team didn't shoot well. On your free throws, the entire team shot 63%. On your three-pointers, the team shot 29%. Turnovers, you had 17. Fouls, you had 25. No, you had 22 fouls. My apologies. But it is going to be impossible to win if consistently you are committing more fouls, turning the ball over more, being less efficient with the ball, and getting half the free throw numbers. It's going to be almost impossible to win. And in this game, right, for Cleveland, you see the real discrepancy coming up about how they don't have a truly fantastic rim protector. And I know that sounds like a bit of a hot take. They do have 2 good rim protectors. But what I mean by that is they don't have anyone who's able to get Jalen Brunson off of his spot once he gets rolling to the paint. They don't have someone who's able to efficiently alter shots at a high level for Jalen Brunson, as he finished the night with 30 points, as well as shooting 10 for 12 from the free throw line. And a lot of that was hunting mismatches, going after who he thought was a weak link. Most of the time, it was either Donovan Mitchell or James Harden. And that allowed him to get downhill. And with the lack of I don't want to say a lack of a rim protector, because they are both good rim protecting bigs, but I think it's more so a testament to how good of a basketball player Jalen Brunson is, where once he gets going down the lane, there's nothing you can do to stop him. I mean, I don't think there's any way in which when he is going down the lane, there's any way that you can stop him from getting an easy 2. I also think his mid-range was on tonight. The only thing about his game that wasn't fantastic was he did shoot 0 for 4 from 3, which I will say, I do commend you for only shooting 4 and not putting your team in a worse position by doing such. And I think that this Knicks team, I don't want to use this term, or I don't want to use this phrase, but it looked like they wanted it more. It seemed like any opportunity where it came down to who wants this more, the end of the game, who went on the stretch to win it. After having that lead tightened up at the end of the second quarter, who came out firing at the start of the third? Who was consistently playing good defense? Who was consistently doing the little things right? Who's consistently boxing out? Who is the one who got more offensive rebounds? And yeah, Max Strus, a lot of those were long rebounds. Technically, they lost the offensive rebounding battle by one, but I think that the way that the Knicks played is they looked like they wanted it more. And I know that that is such a basic level, but at points it's true. When you have players giving up on plays, when you have Jalen Brunson doing his just usual shenanigans with the ball, and he finds a wide open man in the corner, that's a problem. If you're not closing out on Landry Shamet, who you would have thought you would have started to close out on stronger, right? Like this dude has, I know this doesn't sound crazy. He's averaged 8 points this series, but he has been an absolute killer. He's shooting 88% from three. I would have thought that by now you would have learned your lesson to make sure to get to him and put him off of his spot. You haven't done that. The only thing that this Cavaliers team has done well is towards the end of the game kind of stat pad a little bit with Evan Mobley putting up a bunch of twos when it was the fakest comeback ever, where it's like everyone knows this Knicks team has it in the bag, because I don't have faith in this Cavaliers team, number one, coming back from a lead, and second, holding a lead. I don't have that faith in this Cavaliers team. There are serious flaws with the way that this Cavaliers team is constructed. I think coaching, again, hasn't been great. I don't want this series on my end to be James Harden didn't play great. That's why they lost. It wasn't. It was a collective team failure. And when you contrast that to this Knicks team, where it is a consistent team success on the broadcast, the color commentators and the color analysts are all saying, yeah, this is the best team basketball there is. This team has figured out a role. They're peaking at the right time, and they know what to do. And I think a lot of knowing what they have to do is stemmed from Karl-Anthony Towns, where he has really become this passing big man and a legitimately good defender. Where in this game, he had 4 fouls, didn't get his first one until the second quarter, finished with 13 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Oh, and I guess 3 steals and a block. That's cool, I guess, too. But Karl-Anthony Towns, his step as a player has been what has legitimately pushed this team into contention status. Because Karl-Anthony Towns has been a phenomenal playmaker. Legitimately, he has been a good playmaker. This series, averaging 4 assists. Series before, 8. Series before that, 6. And in the regular season, he was averaging 3. And you know what else he was saying in the regular season? He didn't know his role. He has figured it out now. And it is being very conducive to winning. You have other players in the roles stepping up. Josh Hart, 12 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, right? Coming off of a legacy game, he didn't play as great, and he only shot 2 for 7 from 3. But a lot of times, he was a much better player than he was before. This team is thriving off of their synergy that they have together, and I think that at some level, that ties into the Nova Knicks, right? Where in this game, one of the Nova Knicks, Mikal Bridges, was phenomenal. He was very efficient, 11 of 15 from the field, which resulted in 22 points, and he had 3 steals. Not to mention the 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks. But he legitimately is a good wing defender, and that is a perfect matchup when you're going up against this Cavaliers team. And this Cavaliers team doesn't have truly great perimeter defenders. You have Dean Wade, which he is a good perimeter defender. I wouldn't consider him phenomenal, but only got 17 minutes. Jared Allen, pretty good paint protector. Evan Mobley, pretty good paint protector. I know he's a defensive player of the year, but I feel like this series just isn't the series for him. James Harden, I've already gone on my rant about him. Donovan Mitchell, he did not play well. He did not play well. Shot 9 for 21, 3 from 10 from the three-point line, and 2 for 6 from the free throw line, ultimately resulting in a negative 22 plus minus. And I think that this Cavaliers team, I'm going to start talking about the offseason with this team, I think, because it is over. It's just a matter of time and how long is it over for them, and if they can put up one last fight. But this Cavaliers team, you have serious question marks about whether or not you can contend with Donovan Mitchell. And my honest answer is no, you can't. Because at points, despite being a great playoff player, towards the end of series, he gets worn down. Last series, 45%, 33%, 66%. Did have 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists, but I think the big men were the real contributors in that series. In Game 6 last series, shot 30% from the field, 33 from the three-point line. Shot 8 or had 18 points, right? Series before that, 9 for 20, 22 points. When the opportunity to take a lead, took 26 shots, had 24 points, and went 2 for 10 from 3. His three-point shot isn't falling like it used to, and I think that was a big part of his game where you would get anytime that someone would play drop coverage on him, okay, cool, I'll just take the three because you're giving me room. That isn't working anymore. That adjusts the way in which you can play things now, because now you can legitimately play drop coverage on him, which that would allow, I've never thought I'd say the sentence, Karl Anthony Towns to be a good defender on Rome. You can allow the lengthy wings to patrol the perimeter. You can allow even Jalen Brunson to be hidden. Because Donovan Mitchell isn't making his shots, James Harden hasn't been making his shots, and I think that at some point that falls back on the players, but also Kenny Atkinson is not good coming out of timeouts with his plays. He's not good when it comes down to how creative can you get. It hasn't been going well. This Cavaliers team consistently down the stretch of games loses. Consistently. When it's time to need a run, they don't have it. They are, in my opinion, maybe the pinnacle of it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? And this Knicks team always saves the best for last. And Cleveland, they always are done early, and they're still losing. Like, at least in this game, it never once felt like, oh, Cleveland, they could win this one. I mean, it was a 2-point game at one point, and even on the, TNT, at the end of or not TNT anymore. So sorry. The Inside the NBA crew, where it's like, yeah, technically it was a 4-point game, but, I mean, it never felt close. The game never felt close, and I think that has to stem from the fact that your players who you are asking to step up, Max Strus, I've been a fan of your game, 4 for 12, not going to cut it. Sam Merrill, you were this amazing 3-and-D specialist, not anymore, only shooting 4 3-pointers. You didn't make 2 of them. I want to see more aggressiveness there. Legitimately, someone on this Cleveland team I thought played well. Jalen Tyson and Dennis Schroeder are the only players on this Cavaliers team with a positive plus-minus. +2 and +3. That's it. And I like Jalen Tyson. I think he's played very, very well over the as this series has ramped up, defensively at least. But there hasn't been as much adjustment as I would have liked to have seen. What does this Knicks team like to do? Get out in transition. Get the ball in Jalen Brunson's hands. How do you want to go about doing that? You want to do a double? Do you want to do a trap? I mean, what? Like, you do part of that, but then you allow for the playmaking from this team and the unselfishness to work. So what do you want to do? Do you want to build a wall? Do you want to have... I mean, there's just so many things where it's like the adjustments just aren't flowing as fast as they need to be. Right? And, I mean, I think that also this, like, the lengthy wing aspect for this Knicks team, OG Anunoby clamped Donovan Mitchell in the fourth quarter. Right when it matters, once again, we need to go on a run to win the game. Donovan Mitchell went for 4 in the quarter. I mean, the ability to where you don't have to worry about the other team's best player shooting the ball is a problem, especially for someone who he is not a phenomenal slasher when it comes to that being his only archetype, his only skill set. He's a phenomenal slasher, but that isn't all he can do. And when you take away the shooting element, that makes it harder to slash. Because, okay, if they have to face guard, or not face guard, if they have to get chest to chest with you, okay, cool, I can put a shoulder down and get around them. If that's not the case and they're sagging off of you, okay, cool, if you want to come in for a bump, I'll just take a step back and then see if you let you shoot it. If you want to try to blow by me, okay, cool, I will make sure to where I'm staying in front of you at all costs. I don't care if you want to take a step back, you can shoot it. Like, that matters. The key cog of what made his game so brilliant hasn't been there. And that's where you want James Harden to step up. And defensively, James Harden is what he is. I've already gone on my rant about this. But offensively, he hasn't been the same player. He hasn't been what they've wanted him to do. He is the number two option. He's not the second best player, but he's the number two option offensively. And just simply hasn't been that good at doing it. I think that when you have your two best offensive players not living up to their standard, I mean, if I take off the two best players for the Knicks and the Cavs, and you tell me who wins this series, I think it'll be a pretty overwhelming answer. Would you take a starting lineup that would be Landry Shamet, Mitchell Robinson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and OG Anunoby? Or would you take a starting lineup of Dean Wade, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Dennis Schroeder, and either Sam Merrill or Max Strus? I'm taking the New York Knicks. So not only do you not have like the premier top end talent because neither one of your stars are balling out, but also depth wise, you don't have that as much. Your depth players aren't elevating. No one on this team is elevating. The only people who seem to be elevating here is Travis Kelce hyping up the crowd of Taylor Swift courtside. I mean, that seems to be it. Or it's like, I felt more like passion and like hypedness from watching that man chug a beer than anything this Cavaliers team had to do relating to the game of basketball. And I think you can tell the dejectedness, the sadness, because they know their season is over. They know there's no coming back from this. But what I think is going to be super telling is how they play the next two games. If they win one of them, I think, you know what, maybe you keep Kenny Atkinson because he's able to get them motivated to play when there's no reason to. And, well, actually, I don't know if that's true because at the end of this game, they gave up. I have never seen a team give up the way that this Cavaliers team did. Jalen Brunson doing his usual spin jitsu, driving, doing whatever with the ball in his hands, going crazy, right? Jared Allen is in the paint. He is right there. And he has the opportunity to play defense on him. Ladies and gentlemen, he lets him take a layup. And for the final 3 minutes of the game, this Cavaliers team didn't even try. They quit. They quit in a game to go to the NBA Finals and make it a contest, again, to go to the NBA Finals. I mean, I know that I've been critical, but it's like, come on. How do you expect me to be happy to watch you play if you aren't even willing to play at full effort? That's enough slander talk for the Cavaliers. Let's talk about the awesomeness of the Knicks, right? Jalen Brunson, I've already mentioned when he gets downhill, his bag around the rim is fantastic, right? Karl-Anthony Towns, he is phenomenal, right? He's phenomenal. He's so much more of a well-rounded player, and he has been a massive component of making sure that the Cavaliers cannot double Jalen Brunson because he's a legitimate good passer. He's a good passer, good scorer, good playmaker, good rebounder, good defender. I mean, he has really elevated his game, which in all sports, you need to have this synergy. You need to have the continuity. You need to have the collective effort. And this Knicks team is more collective, connected, and competitive than the Cleveland Cavaliers. The only player who I think played pretty well, and I know I just bashed on him, Jared Allen. He was efficient. He was aggressive. Like to see it. I think that it's over. I'll come out with I'll post a video about in the offseason about what each team can do to build for the future. And that'll be pretty cool. I'll get to be a little bit angry with some teams. I know y'all like that. But I do think that this Cavaliers team, they have a lot of work to do for the future. There are a ton of question marks. And you know what? This Knicks team, they're on the precipice of going to the NBA Finals for the first time this century. 1999 was the last time this Knicks team made the finals. I'm super happy for New York, right? They're a great basketball market, great fans, absolutely love it. They traveled super well. They played well, and it's about time the Knicks really had a team that matched up with their standing. And for the Cavs, there are some questions to be had. But let me know. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win this series. Do you see the 4-game run happen for the Cavaliers? If you do, make sure to, let me know. That'd be pretty cool to see why you think that. But, this is it for the Scoop with Coop, right? I hope y'all enjoyed. Hit the subscribe button, as it's been absolutely cool. Really seen a ton of growth of the channel, especially in the past couple weeks. So that's been absolutely awesome sauce. Yeah, I mean, I think that I've touched on every point that I wanted to get across. But this is the Scoop with Coop, and until next time, so long, everybody.